Hi, I'm AOL Expert chef and author Sam Talbot. This is my lovely crying dog, Tank. You may have seen me on Top Chef Season 2 where I was lucky enough to snag the award of fan favorite. You know, today I wanted to talk about the style of food that I like to do, which tends to be really healthy, nutritious, organic as possible, really fresh and just vibrant. A lot of my food comes from the farmer's market. My grandmother instilled this love of cooking in me over the years. You know, living with diabetes, I've really made it my lifelong passion to cook nutritious, wholesome, healthy food. All right, so Tank and I are really excited to take you guys to the farmer's market. Let's do this. See, I love this. We're already at the first stall in here, and we got some potatoes, a little bit of shallot. I'm thinking we're gonna roast the potatoes off, a little bit of onion, a little bit of shallot. We'll do some fresh herb. There's some garlic chives down there, and then we'll stir in some of that fresh crust tomato, add some olive oil. All right, Tank, you ready to roll? Just got some plain yogurt. So what I'm thinking is, I'm gonna go over here, get some free-range eggs, and maybe we'll use this yogurt as a sort of like a dipping sauce. So Madura Farms, I stopped off. We got some enoki mushrooms, some king oyster mushrooms, which are right here. These guys are awesome, roasted, a little bit of butter, some fresh thyme in the pan, and some gray oyster mushrooms. So now we just got to one of my favorite stalls. I've been using these guys for years, Bodhi Tree Farms, and they have amazing varietals. They're right here. I'm gonna get some of these young Chinese broccoli leaves. We're gonna get some Tuscan kale, which everybody knows, and I hope loves because it's so good for you. A little bit of fresh shiso, some garlic chives, and parsley. Pura Vida Fisheries, all local to the Hampton Bays. They have great black sea bass, beautiful clams, mussels, but I'm got my eye on some scallops back there. So we got a half a pound, and let's go make some breakfast. Tank, are these good eggs? What do you think? What do you think, bud? You okay with these? Test them. We're cool? Yeah, I think we're good. Tank approved. Give me my man. So now we have our farmer's market finds back here in the Brooklyn kitchen where we're able to cook up a storm for you guys. I'm really excited. We are going to have some scrambled eggs with some seared scallops, and then in another dish, we're gonna have roasted potatoes, shallots, and these king oyster mushrooms. It's gonna be awesome. So first things first, we are gonna get our pan heating up a little bit over there. We're just gonna start with a little bit of olive oil in this pan. So we're gonna get our shallots, and we're gonna give a nice julienne on those. You're gonna take 2 garlic cloves, flip them over and give them a good smash. Chop these up. We're gonna add our shallot to our hot pan here. Our aromatics are cooking beautifully in there. Some of our fingerling potatoes, we're gonna cut them in half and just toss them right into this pan. And you can see now that the garlic and the shallots starting to caramelize. That's what you're looking for. What I like to do is take my potatoes, flesh side down, let them sit right there on that nice base of that garlic and shallot, and really let those oils get in there. We don't wanna overcrowd, but we wanna make sure that we get everything in there. We're gonna add just a touch of olive oil. While that's cooking, we are gonna do a quick marinade on our base scallops here. Some of them come with a abductor muscle on the side, and you just simply pull it off. So now you can see the sides of our potatoes are starting to caramelize. Once the ends begin to turn a little bit of golden brown, start to crisp up, that's when you know you wanna flip them. We're gonna take a little bit of a spice blend here. Just some sesame seeds, a little bit of cumin, turmeric, paprika, and some dried oregano. We're just gonna sprinkle that right over the scallops here. We're gonna take some cracked black pepper, and of course some sea salt, and a little bit of olive oil. We're just gonna let these guys sit in that marinade there. Right before these scallops go in the pan, I'm gonna take a little bit of Meyer lemon and squeeze that juice on there, so right before they hit the hot oil, they'll have this like little burst of lemon that's gonna really elevate the flavor there. Now you can see that the garlic and the shallots are really starting to crisp up in here. We're gonna take some of this cider vinegar and we're gonna deglaze the pan here. All right, so now we can start on our mushrooms. A little bit of olive oil here in our pan. We're gonna get our shallots into the pan. Then we're gonna take our king mushrooms and we're just gonna cut these big, beautiful stems right in half. These oyster mushrooms, I kind of like these just big and rustic the way they are. So now I'm just gonna add a touch more garlic oil into this pan here. And then the trick is I like to turn the heat up right before they go in, a little bit of olive oil and then just a touch of butter. So now the same thing we did with the potatoes, we're gonna take these big, beautiful oyster mushrooms, flesh down, let those ends get nice and crispy, caramelized, get a little burnt up on the sides because that's where the flavor is. So now these mushrooms, you can tell the difference between the king oyster mushroom and the gray oyster mushroom. This one's a little bit more delicate. So we're gonna wait to put in our gray oyster mushrooms until these are about halfway cooked. And then of course we can finish with our really delicate, uber fine, fragile enoki mushrooms that also act when you're really hot. You can use them as a fan. So something to think about. All right, so now you can tell what I'm talking about here. See that beautiful color starting to take place along the edges of those mushrooms? So now we're gonna add in our oyster mushrooms. We're gonna hit that with a touch of high heat, a little bit more of the beautiful roasted garlic oil. Our oyster mushrooms are now catching some color. We're gonna take some fresh Meyer lemon juice. First, we're gonna juice right over the top to declave. Now we're gonna add in our enoki mushrooms. Yeah, this is wonderful. So now that's what we're talking about. See those beautiful roasted shallots in there? You can see the color coming through on all the mushrooms. So now we are gonna come back to our broccoli leaves over here. I just like to take the stems right off the back there, stack them in your hand, super simple. We're gonna roll them up. And then just nice kind of, almost a julienne, a little bit of a wider ribbon. So you can really taste that broccoli leaf. You don't wanna lose it in the potato and the shallot. We have a little bit of kale. Do the same exact thing, just easy ribbons. And now we're gonna crack our eggs. We're just gonna take a little bit of whole milk. So there's about 5 eggs in here and about 2 ounces of whole milk. We're just gonna take our fork and whisk it up really easy. We're gonna season this with a little bit of salt, some pepper. We're gonna take our egg mixture, a little bit of that same roasted garlic oil. We're gonna slowly add our egg mixture. And the key to perfectly cooked scrambled eggs every time is that you have to just work them on slow and low, just like the Beastie Boys song. Slow and low, that's the tempo. You can see our eggs starting to form. Our mushrooms are now going. Kale we are gonna put with the potatoes, and the broccoli leaves right into our mushrooms. A little sea salt, a little cracked black, a little cracked black. So now for our scallops. See that oil already starting to smoke? You need to do that when you're cooking in an iron skillet, and I'm gonna show you why right now. You can tilt the oil away from you, so this way when the scallop hits the hot oil, it doesn't bounce back. One by one, right into the pan. Ever so gently. We're gonna come back over here, give our eggs a quick stir. Our mushrooms are ultra sexy, beautiful. The broccoli leaves are wilting down in there. Potatoes and kale. Okay, our mushrooms are good to go, our potatoes are good to go, and our scallops. So again, we're gonna tilt the oil away from us. We're gonna take a fork and just flip these guys over. Good rule of thumb is that you wanna serve beautiful scallops, fresh scallops, these sexy sea scallops like this, medium rare. For you to achieve that, right now, as soon as you flip them over, you can just turn the pan off. That hot oil is gonna carry over, it's gonna cook them perfectly. So our shiso, we have a little bit of fresh parsley, and we're gonna take these garlic chives and we're just gonna mix them together. And we're just gonna mix that right into the fresh eggs to the last second there. We are completely finished cooking. Look at that, our scrambled eggs with garlic chives, shiso, some fresh parsley. We have our roasted mushrooms. Look at that guy right there. Man, oh man. We're gonna go back for our crispy roasted potatoes. Little fresh lemon on top, wake everybody up, and voila. So here we have our roasted fingerling potatoes with some aromatic crispy shallot and a little bit of kale. This is our scrambled farm fresh eggs with marinated iron skillet sea scallops, some garlic chives, shiso, and parsley. And of course, we have our roasted king mushroom, oyster mushroom, and enoki mushrooms. What I'm gonna do right now is take a little bit of this chili honey. We're just gonna spoon this right over the top of these potatoes right here. For our egg dish here, I just wanna take a spoonful of this yogurt, just drizzle a little bit of this garlic oil. So we're finished. I hope you guys had fun cooking with me today. I had a blast. We got to, make a beautiful farmer's market inspired breakfast. We have 3 great dishes. I'm gonna leave these recipes for you online, and please, please, please come back out and check this video and many more on AOL.com.